Lots of people are coming together at this time, and there are these mass protests and risings in this way, and a lot of it does seem to be fueled by outrage. And my question is, how can we take this collective outrage and channel it into lasting transformation?
Well, these protests that you are seeing will be rising all across your planet. And there will not be a lot of coverage of this in your media to the extent as to what they are happening. But much of the coverage will be on that in which is at times fueling this, although that is not necessarily its intent. And it is that when one can come together, sometimes outrage is needed as a fuel to propel one forward to the releasing of energies within their own field that are mirroring that which they are outraged by, in order to shed those frequencies and to elevate into higher ones. And through commonality of connection in collaboration, or what you call protesting, in which we are not perhaps would love for that word to be shifted so that it is not so much against something but for something, that in that will be a wave of energy that you will be seeing rapidly unfolding on your planet, and is the part of a frequency that is moving collectively toward an opening of something, to a changing of what we've been sharing recently in our speaking to all of you, of a changing of the guard, of a collapsing of what has been, including in leadership, including in ideology, including in many systems. And it is that in the forward thinking of pushing against something through outrage, it is extraordinarily important that a solution toward the creation of something else is presented, and that the energy is moving in that direction, not simply against something, which just amplifies it more and creates more division. However, it is that through peaceful protesting, through the centeredness within the own heart, from a radiant place of love, not against something, but for unity and for compassion and for understanding and for love, and even compassion and love for the enemy, or the one in which one is protesting against, is the absolute highest frequency. That in that steadfast conviction toward one's compass of their own integrity, and a willingness to not waver from that knowingness within their being, in alignment with truth and with love for the human rights and for compassion for all human beings on the planet, that energy, no matter how much force pushes against it, will always prevail, will always be stronger, because it's energetically so much stronger than any armored frequency or any bomb or anything of this sort, because that cannot be executed or carried out unless those who are perceived as perhaps the workers, or the ones that carry out the orders, obey. And so, as this steadfast, strong energy that is collective in the human collective of choice toward the creation of something new, that is not wavering in its conviction, becomes an armor of light, and the other energy then becomes enfolded and embraced within it, and it begins to collapse, because it is simply a traumatized, wounded energy that then is enfolded, embraced within the other energy, and it becomes unified as a whole.
I love that, Raphael. And can you remind us again? I think you said it, but I might have missed it, of what the new word for what you're talking about is other than protest. What would be what you call that, of people coming together with a solution, moving forward to bring unity, love, compassion, etc. What would you call that rather than a protest?
A love fest.